G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas has continued to defame Dr Randa Abdel Fattah, and he's not stopping. He's double down, triple down, quadruple down. He's just not stopping at all, and it's gone way past civil defamation. It's now on the grounds of criminal defamation. Now, Dr Randa Abdel Fattah has had a lawyer to send a concerns notice to South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas today. And I'll play you a couple of videos. One of the videos is apparently what the concerns notice is mainly focused on. And I'll also read out the relevant criminal legislation for criminal defamation. Now, this video is a follow-up video. A lot of the background information is in a video I published 2 days ago titled Zionists Mark and Jeremy Liebler Have Palestinian Australian Dr Abdel Fattah Sacked from the Adelaide Writers' Festival. And I'll put a link to that video below this video on YouTube, so that way you can follow up with all the background. And just keep in mind, at the moment, the concerns notice for defamation is being sent to the Premier, but he's probably also looking down the barrel, or the government's looking down the barrel, of Australian Human Rights Commission complaint for racial discrimination as well. Now, this first video is from yesterday, Tuesday the 13th of January 2026, and Peter Malinauskas defames Dr Randa Abdel Fattah again, putting her in the same category as the 2 terrorists who killed 15 people at Bondi Beach. Then he says he stands by the CEO and the board who withdrew the invitation to Dr Randa Abdel Fattah. He blames them, but what he doesn't say is they've all resigned, because they all know he's lying. And I'll play you that video now.
Can you imagine if a far-right Zionist walked in to a Sydney mosque and murdered 15 people? Can you imagine that as Premier of this state, I would actively support a far-right Zionist going to Writers' Week and speaking hateful rhetoric towards Islamic people? Of course I wouldn't. Now, the reverse has happened in this instance, and I'm not going to support that either. And I think that's a reasonable position for me to have. It's a view that I believe. The board makes their own decisions. I've always backed the independence of the board and the director of Writers' Week. I've made that crystal clear over and over again in writing, and what decisions they make amongst themselves is for them.
Now, this next video I'm about to show you is from the 7:30 report, where Peter Malinauskas pretends he's about to cry. He's shedding some crocodile tears. The reality is, and he's called out by Louise Adler, he didn't show any sympathy to Dr Randa Abdel Fattah, and I'll show you that video now.
The Premier today said he was all simply about trying to oppose hateful rhetoric, and he got quite emotional, Louise Adler, in expressing his point of view today. Here he is.
I do my best to examine my conscience and offer a view that I believe is consistent with the interests of compassion and advancing the cause of people treating each other with decency and humanity, regardless of their background. It's genuinely what I try to do.
So there you saw the Premier. Do you believe Premier Malinauskas was coming at this from a position of decency and humanity?
I would hope so. I've got no evidence to the contrary. But I wonder where his compassion and humanity and sensitivity was to Dr Randa Abdel Fattah, and the fact that her work as a Palestinian writer, academic, esteemed award-winning writer, and the history that she carries with her and the recent events where 70,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza. Where is the shared humanity and the understanding and compassion for Dr Randa Abdel Fattah? Because I think the statement of the former board included the words cultural sensitivity. And I wondered, I understand we all should embrace the idea of cultural sensitivity, but I wonder where the cultural sensitivity was to the one Palestinian writer who was deemed inappropriate for a writers' festival.
Now, today, Wednesday, the 14th of January 2026, Dr Randa Abdel Fattah sent a concerns notice to Peter Malinauskas, the Premier of South Australia, and I'll read out the message she put up on social media. And it says, for the past week since I was cancelled by the Adelaide Festival Board, the South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas has made many public statements about me and my character. We have never met, and he has never attempted to contact me. He knows nothing about me. beyond what he has been told by the Murdoch press and the pro-Israel lobby, which he has apparently accepted without question. Yesterday, Mr Malinauskas went even further. He made a public statement that suggested I am an extremist terrorist sympathiser and directly linked me to the Bondi atrocity. There was a vicious personal assault on me, a private citizen, by the highest public official in South Australia. It was defamatory and it terrified me. Enough is enough. I'm a human being, not a punching bag. My lawyers have today issued a concerns notice under the Defamation Act on Premier Peter Malinauskas. This is his opportunity to undo some of the harm he has inflicted and stop punching down. Now, Peter Malinauskas is the Premier of South Australia. He knows exactly what he's doing. They've got lawyers left, right and centre in the government, and they've got access to external lawyers left, right and centre. To continue to defame Dr Randa Abdel Fattah, it's not an accident, it's deliberate. He's deliberately giving ammunition to trolls on social media so they can attack Dr Randa Abdel Fattah. And he knows it. And he has no defence for it. And because he has no defence, it's gone past civil defamation and it's now in the area of criminal defamation. And Dr Randa Abdel Fattah should either consider making a complaint to the police, whether it be the state police or federal police. She possibly also has the option to institute criminal proceedings herself if the relevant police forces won't. Now, just to give you an example, one of the laws that potentially cover this situation is the Crimes Act 1900, Section 529, which is New South Wales Consolidated Acts. And it says, offence of criminal defamation, a person who, without lawful excuse, publishes matter defamatory of another living person, knowing the matter to be false, and with intent to cause serious harm to the victim or any other person, or being reckless as to whether such harm is caused, is guilty of an offence, 3 years jail. Now, it says Section 4, lawful excuse, a defendant in proceedings for an offence under this section has a lawful excuse for the publication of defamatory matter about the victim if, and only if, the defendant would have in regard only to the circumstances happening before it at the time of publication, have had a defence of publication if the victim had brought civil proceedings for defamation against the defendant. Well, he wouldn't have a defence. And as I said, as a Premier, he's got access to lawyers left, right and centre. He knows what he's doing, deliberately defaming her. Now, to my knowledge, Peter Malinauskas hasn't responded yet to the concerns notice. He's got 28 days to do so. And if he doesn't respond within the 28 days, Dr Randa Abdel Fattah can institute proceedings in court. And I think that's where we're going to end up. And like I said at the beginning, this is a follow-up video to the video I published a couple of days ago, and I'll put a link to that video below this video on YouTube. And I'm an independent journalist. I've been running a campaign for the last 7 weeks, and I'll read it out to you. 7 weeks ago, I launched a campaign with a simple goal: find 200 new monthly supporters so I can keep doing the work as a fully independent journalist, running this site and the YouTube channel without corporate backing or paywalls. Since then, 80 wonderful people have stepped up and become monthly supporters. That's huge. Thank you. Now we're at 120 to go. If you've been enjoying the work and aren't yet supporting monthly, I'd be incredibly grateful if you consider joining them. Here's the situation. Like most independent journalists, I'm basically a one-person small business. Right now, a lot of us are feeling the squeeze, just like many small businesses and households are. To stay afloat and keep bringing you the reporting I do, I need roughly 200 more people. Well, now it's down to 120, chipping in whatever you can comfortably afford each month. Anything from $3 to $100 or whatever works for your budget makes a real difference. There's no lock-in and you can cancel or adjust it at any time. If that feels doable right now, you can see all the donations options on the donations page on my website, and there's a link for that below this video on YouTube. Your support, whether it's a monthly donation or one-off donation, or just sharing my work, is what keeps independent voices like this one alive. And please do help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media, and please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button. That way you get notified when I publish a new video. On that, thank you for your time and have a good day.